guys, welcome back to Así Nomás channel. My name is Aurora.
My name is Valeria.
This is Así Nomás.
Your smile. You're literally like this.
So I'm just staring at the fly on the LED light. It's literally just chilling there.
Well, this is
I
there.
couldn't kill it. Distracted by the fly the whole time.
Is it? Are you
Oh, no, forget. I'm just gonna let it be. Okay.
The whole video, you're like this, no?
I know. I'm just staring at it. It looks like I'm staring at the camera, but I'm literally just staring at the fly. If you guys see a fly, you guys already know. We're not even gonna try to kill it.
This video is a little more serious too. Like the other one, it was like our first video. We were being more goofy, but this one is like about, as the title says, past self versus present self. So it's gonna be more of a serious toned podcast in general. You know, podcast episode. Yeah. So I see the point now.
I want to act like there's no camera. We've tried to record. I can't speak. We've tried to record so many times, like not this video, but other times and it's failed. And I'm gonna take all accountability. I'm not gonna blame you, but that I've been in a very grumpy mood, or just fell out of it, or like I don't feel like putting up a facade in front of the camera. Maybe because for me it's like I can be myself with other people, or whether with you, or when I'm alone. But when it comes to like a camera in my face, I'm not saying I want to act like someone I'm not. It's not that, but it's like I feel weird. I feel like I'm being looked at, which I kind of am being looked at. You know. So then I'm like, what do I say? People are gonna see this, but it's like that shouldn't matter. So I just want to act like it's not there, because I think also us just like looking at it makes me feel.
I know.
It makes me feel like I'm talking to a lot of people, and I just want to feel like it's us. And yes, it's being recorded, but it's like an intimate moment. How I want to go about it. Like, if you want to stare at the front, that's fine. But I feel like I want to feel like I'm chilling. And like, I'm just...
I never know how to sit, to be honest.
Of today... Well, not the title. The
topic,
theme of today. The theme is past versus new self. And we were writing in our notes things that we feel... Or traits that we feel like our past self had or endured, I guess. And then our new self. And if I'm being completely honest, I have some stuff on my past self. I have like 7 things, and on the new, I have nothing. I have literally 0. I'm not saying I don't have. Maybe I still have to like write down some things. I'm not saying I don't have new traits, but I'm still working on the new me. So I'm mainly gonna be speaking about the past me. And also on the first video, I did like literally 80% of the talking, and I didn't even realize that until I saw the video. I was kind of cringing on myself because I'm like, I didn't even let her speak. And there were so many times where you were like, and you were like about to say something, and I was like, anyways, and I just kept going. So
you were just excited.
I'm doing that right now, no? Okay. So we spoke. About Okay.
All right, guys, just ignore Jimmy.
Last time I spoke about the flying. They're gonna be confused. Okay. Anyways, last time I spoke about us getting like a talking stick, where like I'll give it to you and you give it to me. But I think right now we got a notebook too, because I don't want to interrupt her. So if there's like a topic
that she wants to say, but like I'm still talking, she'll write it down, that way she won't forget.
Yeah. All right. So do you want to take initiative on? I guess the way we can open this topic would be with talking our past self.
We could ask each other questions.
We can do that. I'm saying
my traits are kind of later on into the video. I think I want to start with.
You take lead right now if you want.
I feel like this subject, it's important to everyone. Like it's like something that everyone should like analyze, like how you were before, or like blah 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 blah. But I feel like this is like important psychological work everyone should be doing. But for me right now, it feels like a little bit more personal, just because, and I feel like I mentioned it, made so much jokes, and I already mentioned it in the last video, but like not really into depth. But the me right now is so different from literally just 5 months ago. 5 months ago, and it's all because of that relationship that I left. And for me, I keep bringing it up because it was something so important, because this is a relationship that I was in for 6 years, and it was someone that I met when I was like a teenager, and now I'm 21. I met this person when I was 15, and I feel like those years are so important. They're important when it comes to your individualism, and like you're trying to find yourself, you're trying to figure out who you are. So since I was in a relationship during those years, I feel like I'm barely finding out who I really am now. And I'm 21. That's so young. Like, literally when I'm 30 and I look back when I'm 50, I'm gonna be like, oh, I was so young in my 30s and my 40s. You know, you're always gonna feel that. But I know I am in an age right now where like self-discovery is still gonna be a big theme until like 30s. And even then, you know, it just depends how your life goes. Everyone's life is different, but I feel like I'm barely even connecting with myself now. And I feel like that's something that everyone should feel always. Like, you should always feel connected to yourself since you're born, you know? Like, who you are, what you like, who you want to represent. And I feel like I barely now... Almost like landed on me. I feel like barely now I'm finally feeling like myself and feeling like it... Not feeling like myself, feeling like I can be myself. That's literally what my whole point is. Of like feeling I could be myself and feeling comfortable to explore myself, feeling comfortable to not stop liking things I used to like and just find new things I like, and being authentic. Literally being authentic. It's something that I've always wanted to be, and in a way I kind of always was in small little ways. Like, I've always dressed however I wanted and with makeup, and that's it. But when it really came down to like deep rooted,
when it came to your form of expression, you were good. You were good expressing yourself, who you were authentically.
Other than that,
but when it came to like your actual thoughts and values and who you were, you kind of suppressed them.
I suppressed myself a lot. Like, I've always had a big personality, and I've always known I'm an extrovert. I'm definitely not introverted. I'm serious, but I'm not introverted. Like, I love being around people. I have a big personality. I feel like when I want to show it, and I feel like I don't care about looking stupid or cringy, and like I like just being goofy and weird. And I feel like my sister can agree with that. I feel like I like making people laugh, or I just like being like the fun friend, or in the group setting I do like being.
You don't care if people are gonna judge. You don't care about being cringy. Yeah. You don't care about being annoying.
Literally. And I just feel like now, like, that's something that makes me so happy, because before I would be so scared to like use my voice. And for me, my voice is so important because I'm so opinionated. I'm loud. I'm annoying. Like, that's just me, and that's something I'm proud of now. And before, I would always hide it or suppress it, and because of that relationship. But before, of course, it was like still personal things that I needed to learn from. It could have been any other relationship, or if I was single, like, you know, I could have still been going through that phase of like not really being myself. But definitely this relationship, because of how toxic it was and draining, and you know, I did go through a lot of I don't like the fly clearly is like opinionating right now, but I went through a lot of verbal abuse and physical as well, and I feel kind of scared to kind of be open about it. But I think it's important for me to vocalize that, because I know I want to, and new me now is so different from literally just 5 months ago, and I know she would be proud of who I am right now and of what I'm even speaking on, and the fact that I feel comfortable to even say that stuff. But I guess what makes me scared to open up about all the toxic things that I lived through, or all the bad abuse that I lived through and endured, is because I feel like someone will try to throw something back into my face. But I know my wrongs, and I know what I did, and it still doesn't undermine everything I went through. And yeah, that's kind of like just something I really want to get off my chest, because I feel like if I don't say, like, I feel like I've been wanting to say it out loud, like, for people to know, like, oh, I went through a lot with my ex-partner, but I felt like scared to be honest about what I meant by that. And even just me saying like the physical abuse is kind of like scary, because I feel like it might get people mad, or it will probably get people mad if they're even watching this. But
who gives a fuck? It's not about them. It's your truth and your life, and you're gonna speak on whatever you want to speak on. Sorry, not trying to interrupt you, but for example, when I speak about my life experiences or story times or whatever the case is, most people are not going to know who we're talking about. Yeah. But the people who know us, or if you're that person or family member or friend, whatever, whoever you are, you're obviously going to connect the dots, and you're going to know who we're speaking on. But at the end of the day, I don't care. Yeah. You know who we're speaking on, congratulations. We're still going to speak our truth, and we're not going to talk shit. We're going to talk about what we experience.
The truth.
We're
not making anything
up. Or reality, right? Because every person has their own either delusion or their own reality. So we're going to speak our truth. You stated your truth, and that's it. It doesn't matter what other people think. I just want to say that.
Thank you. Because I feel like it's scary. That's why I feel like
people are going to know who you're speaking on. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. Yeah. Who gives a fuck, honestly? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, because I feel like I I didn't deserve a lot of the shit that I went through, and I have every right to speak on my side. And it goes back to certain traits that I had that I don't have anymore. Not bad traits. Well, bad for me, not bad for others, but I learned through this toxic relationship that I have an anxious attachment, and I learned how codependent I was. And these are things that like I've been working on since I left the relationship, because I'm like, I can't, no matter what, like, yes, I left, but have I really grown from everything? Like, will I tolerate it again? No, I won't. And that's something that I need to learn. And I didn't deserve anything that I was put through, but I do not, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't go back and take it away, because it made me who I am right now. And if it wasn't for all that pain, I don't think I would be as confident as I am.
Yeah.
No, but
ultimately, what makes you you?
Yeah, like everything makes you you, and everything happens for a reason. I chose to see all this bad and turn it into a lesson, because that's all you can really do.
Exactly.
And if you don't grow from nothing.
Exactly. If I can add on to what you're saying, life is perspective. And I think I said that on our first video. Because that's literally so simple. If somebody were to ask me, how do you view life? What is life? Or what's the whatever. Mm-hmm. Perspective. That's the only word I can tell you. Because somebody could have the same exact circumstances you have and view life completely different. Like, oh, I have to deal with this. I'm stuck with this. I have this, whatever.
Like a victim mindset.
And somebody, exactly, the victim mindset. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to always use that. I don't want that term to offend a lot of people, because a lot of people probably have gone through unimaginable things that I couldn't even imagine, and they'll be like, how dare you say that? It was, you know what I mean? Because of course there's so many things that are even unimaginable and cruel, but I think everything makes you everything. You know, the most horrible things you've been through. And even somebody could tell me, just to play devil's advocate. I always play devil's advocate because I like seeing both sides. I like, remaining open-minded, seeing, just why the other person thinks the way they think. Somebody were to tell me, because you haven't gone through, like, real shit. If you were to go through real shit, you would not say the same. Like, you deal with life differently if you've been through more hardships. And 100% I agree. But sometimes the strongest people, or not to sound cheesy, like the warriors in life, like how like that one saying that says God gives his strong soldiers the biggest the toughest battles.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's crazy, because there's some people that have started from like rock bottom. And when I speak rock bottom, I don't just say like minor inconveniences in life that you're like, oh my god, my life was so hard. No,
like traumatic,
real traumatic shit. I pronounce a lot of words wrong.
Traumatic.
Like when I said curious in the first video, I didn't even realize until you told me in the video. Actually, yeah. I was like curious. I said a word, but anyways, I got off topic. What did I say?
Oh, that people. Wait, because se me está yendo el avión a mí también.
It's like flying away. Does that ever happen to you guys?
It's
like
flying
it's like a thought,
away,
and like you see the thought, and it's like running. It's like, don't run. I know.
Wait.
I'm about to forget.
We were talking about people that.
People look at us and be like, what the fuck? How do you forget what you were
saying?
Why
are we both having a blank?
I know, what the fuck? Okay, how I like playing devil's advocate, and somebody would tell me, like, who are you?
Oh, the God quote. Like,
Exactly, okay. Oh, no, I was gonna add on to what you were saying, because I actually wrote that in my notes. Everything happens for a reason, which is something that I've lived by, but also that, that you go through things. I like no, hold on. You go through things, and it makes you a teacher.
Yeah.
You become wise. That's what I'm looking forward to with what comes with old age or just getting older. I think most people, or maybe not most people, a lot of people are scared of old age and just getting older. Like, oh my god, I'm starting to get, I'm about to be 25, I'm about to be 30, I'm about to be 40. I think we should let go of that fear. I make jokes about it sometimes, like, when I see a meme, like, but in all seriousness, I'm excited for everything that I have to learn, everything that I have to go through. I have yet more sadness to go through, and death, and, hardships, or maybe losing a job, maybe failing, whatever. But I'm excited for all that it's going to teach me, and then I can teach the next person, either for them to prevent it, or from just to learn, because life is just like a class, if that makes sense. Like, you're just learning, you might fail, and then you study again, and then you might pass again. And it's just like, I think it's just a trip, and you learn a lot of things. But I think it's really cool, I don't know what other word to use, but cool to teach others. Yeah. To become a teacher, to become wise, like I say, wise in years.
Do you find it fulfilling?
Yeah, I find that fulfilling. So a lot of people might
And you
disagree
like
with
deep
me.
conversations,
Yeah.
so maybe that's why you.
And I remember one
You like
time somebody told me, like, oh, you're wise beyond your years. That doesn't make it a fact, right? That was just their opinion. But it felt nice to, and it was actually a coworker that I used to have, like a 40-year-old man.
Yeah.
So when he told me that, not his age, it gives him credit.
But
But he's not just like
person.
a youngster, like
Yeah.
like me, you know. He's not like an
A
18-year-old.
youngster.
You
You
know,
you
like,
say that.
I never use those words. I know. A youngin.
A youngin.
It wasn't like a 15-year-old telling me, like, you're so wise. You know,
Yeah.
it was like an older person. So I feel like in that moment, it gave me a little bit of credit because I was like, oh, I was giving him advice about his life. And then he was like, oh, you're wise beyond your years. So that made me feel like, hey, like I'm teaching you something.
But
You know?
that's something, like a fun fact about Aurora. She loves she loves conversating. She'll talk to an old man in the bench. Like, you know, like in the movies when people are feeding the ducks and they have like this the character has like this fucking deep conversation with this old man, and they turn around, the man isn't
like,
there.
Beautiful day, ain't it?
You'd be like that old person in the bench that says something deep, changes
someone's
someone's life, and then they turn around, you're not there anymore. Like, you're literally, I feel like you just love
just run away, you know?
Yeah, you like having the one-on-one conversations, and you probably won't even see this person ever again in your life, but the conversation was just something to remember.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because every time you travel, you seek out conversation, or people seek you.
Or vice versa, people have.
I've been around her, and like she attracts people. Like, I've been like, the fly's on you. Do you not feel it?
Is it? Where is it?
It's on your foot.
Where? Okay, anyway.
It's on your foot again.
No!
It's right there now. Sorry,
bitch.
Sorry.
Okay.
Anyways, but I can see why you find that fulfilling, and like.
Go on my face, bitch. I swear to you, I'll fucking.
Where is it on me? If it's on me, spike me. It's okay.
Okay, well, we can't.
Honestly, like, she's good at conversation, and she's good at deep conversation, philosophical. Where is it?
You can't even say that word. Try to say that word again.
Philosophical.
I'm trying to teach you
Philosophical.
You know, philosophical. So again, philosophical.
Fossil.
Also creepy.
Yeah. Only Arizona people will get that.
Okay. Philosophical.
Okay, whatever. You like having deep conversations, and you see that?
No, just
okay.
Please ignore the fly.
You actually hit it.
Did I?
Yeah, you hit it like gently though.
All right. Well, anyways, what we're talking about?
How you find that
Keep
fulfilling.
talking about me.
How you like that guy complimenting you, and then that's when I start not complimenting you, just saying like a trait of you.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, it is a compliment, right? To have like.
Do you see the energy boost?
Yeah.
So you're complimenting me though?
Yeah.
No, that comes to show how compliments are very important.
Yeah.
Not to boost somebody's ego, but you also make them remember who they are, if that makes sense. With even like a small trait, like, hey, you know what? You seek others and they always come to you and you really help and people seek help with you. Or, you know what? I admire your strength, or I admire how resilient you are. You get back up after every downfall. Or, you know what? Even a compliment as small as, like, hey, you look beautiful today. I like your new hairstyle or something different,
I don't know if you noticed, I love complimenting people. Me
too. Oh, yeah. Went to the fair last time. Yes, I like giving compliments too, trust me. And I also like receiving them.
Yeah.
But it was, like, excessive. I was like, can you stop complimenting people?
But I'm always like
and she almost made me feel like a negative Nancy. She's like, was there a problem with me complimenting? I'm like, no, there's no problem. But she was like, we were just walking, that she wasn't even conversating with me. You look beautiful, by the way.
Okay, that's true, because you'd be talking
I like
and
your
then...
shirt. Hey, and I was like, bitch, what? Why? Okay, conversate with me. Like, what?
That's true. It's because sometimes I would kind of like... It'd be different if we're just walking in silence, but you'd be talking while I did it.
It's
so,
because
my bad. I'm bad at sometimes, like, I get distracted easily, even though someone's mid-conversation.
Yeah, let's say, we're talking about something, right? And I don't know, she's like, hey, I just want to let you know. And I was like, bitch, like, we're talking.
Okay, so
but sometimes... Some people give compliments out, like, and it's fake. You can feel it. Yes. But you can feel when it's genuine, too. Or sometimes you can't read a person, so sometimes some people might be a little bit off.
Compliments should never be fake. Yeah. Unless...
But we're getting off topic. We're saying,
yeah. The topic was in
we're
general...
saying how I attract people.
No, okay. Actually, you want me to kind of specify that? No. Because it's something that I actually generally, like, think is cool. Like, I've been Aurora attracts... conversation. That's what I mean by people. Like, there could be a girl that attracts a lot of compliments, or there's a guy that attracts a lot of ladies. No, like, when I mean by people, I mean Aurora attracts people that, like, are open to have a conversation. And, like, deep conversations. Let's be honest, most people, we don't talk to strangers and we don't have deep conversations with them. She attracts that a lot.
And
like, day to day, like, normal day, and, like, I think it's just because she's just so her that it makes people comfortable being them. Highway.
No, sometimes I'm more comfortable with like strangers in a weird way because I know I'm never gonna see them again. So I'm willing to like start a conversation and keep talking.
Yeah.
But sometimes when it comes to like maybe I run into somebody from like high school.
She's really awkward with people.
I'll be awkward, but I used to be even more awkward that I tried to like. I think a lot of people can relate to this, but they just kind of avoid the person or avoid eye contact to even say hi. But recently I'm like, what's wrong with just like don't feel forced to a conversation? Like literally last time I had someone.
But don't feel forced to avoid either. Just keep doing whatever you're doing. Yeah,
I was just like, hi, you could just say a hi and keep going. Or like, hi, it's been a minute, how are you? Good, and you? Good too, bye, it was good to see you. But like, I would be awkward and avoid it because I'm like, oh, I'll probably have to go up to each other and like, conversate. Like, no, you don't really have to conversate.
You don't have to do anything you don't want
to. Last time I had someone and I just very brief, like I ended the conversation. I don't know if I seemed like I was kind of like short and trying to cut off the conversation, but like I'm really not trying to do like that small talk that feels forced. Like, hey, it was good seeing you. You too. You look good. Okay, you too. Bye. Have a good one. That's it. Be safe. But I didn't want to prolong it if I genuinely didn't feel it. I was genuine in that.
You're not in the mood. It's just not
20
natural.
seconds, but that was it.
But I feel like you're getting a little better at it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm way better. Before I'd be like, I don't even want to see them.
I feel like you've even avoided like going to certain places.
Now I feel like people have avoided me.
Oh, really?
I'm like, hi.
You're like, hey.
No, not even like that, but... Okay, going back to the other topic, though. Yeah, I was just saying, like, teaching others. Yeah. And, okay, that's what we're talking about. Yeah. It's good to, like, learn things in life and learn lessons like this. Like
be open to receiving.
Like that cliche saying, you live and you learn. But it really is like that.
No,
you live and you learn. Or, like, a lot of people, like I said, life is about perspective, so you might look at a certain experience as a lesson, like, oh, I'm never gonna go about that way. Lesson learned, and for somebody for somebody else, they might be like, wait, what? That's not a lesson learned. I feel like you did the right thing, and there's nothing to be learned. Perspective, you know what I mean? Everything is falling.
Oh, because I was talking about how I chose to turn all this bad into
like,
growth. So that's what
you're deciding to look at the good in something that's bad. That was really bad, and a lot of people maybe that's why they get stuck in this dark place, or they're depressed, or they're anxious. Because they never saw the good from that. Don't get me wrong. I think we briefly touched on depression in the first video. And like we said, that should be like another topic of... that should be another video. Because that's like a whole segment. Yeah. But just briefly touch on that. I know it's hard. Depression can be really hard. And nobody can just tell you something that might change your perspective. Or maybe so. Maybe some... or maybe somebody does tell you something that really helps you. But where was I going with this? That everything's perspective. So you decide to get out of depression because you're now viewing things differently, or you decide to not get out of it because you're still viewing the same. You still have that same mindset. You still have the same negative thoughts that you keep deciding to have about a specific situation or experience, whatever. So again, everything's perspective, and it's hard to change your perspective. Kind of like how they say a habit is formed in 20 days. Well, I think we briefly commented on something like that a couple days ago, me and my sister, that also thoughts become a habit.
What is that?
If you're so used to being negative, if you're so used to having negative thoughts, if you're so used to feeling drained and being stuck in bed all day, it becomes your norm. And that becomes your day to day, that it's so hard to get out of it. It's so hard to get up and work out.
You
it's
make
so
it a reality when it's not
positive. When you're so used to being the other way you used to be.
Literally. Because I like you're talking about that because I actually had a conversation like that with this ex-friend of mine, and she didn't tell me at the moment, but I had told her. I was like, I think depression was so hard. She actually, well, I'm not gonna say names or anything or say too much personal things of what she had told me, but she was self-harm, and she just grew up very fucked up and like just had this fucked up mindset. But where she was at that moment when I was talking to her, she was in a good place. I think she was just so used to, like you said, it was just
the negativeness.
Yeah, like just always thinking negative and being negative and being in this like mindset of everything, like nothing works out for me. And I remember telling her, like, not in a bitchy way, I told her like in a good way. I was like maybe you can't, like, I basically...
Stop thinking nothing works out for you and everything is against you, because that's gonna become your reality.
Exactly.
If that's what you think and that's what you feel,
then you're always gonna see everything.
I'm always gonna have even a shitty ass life. I'm never gonna go nowhere. This is with the life I got assigned to me. You know, but it's really not.
Yeah.
Like, I wrote down on my vision board, one of the things that I wrote down, be delusional. And now somebody might be like, well, why do you want to be delusional? Now it's how I'm seeing it, right? I connotate that word to a specific perspective.
Yeah.
So for me, what I associate it to is like, imagine the unimaginable. Like, somebody might be like, I want to be a rock star. I want to be a billionaire. I want to change the world. I want to change people's lives. I want to donate to charity. And somebody be like, bro, like, don't be delusional. That's impossible. You're not gonna do that shit.
But why not?
Okay, but why not? I'm saying be delusional with your dreams, with your aspirations, with whatever you want to change.
You know,
and no aspect am I perfect. You know, because if I'm saying like, if I'm preaching, be delusional, you know, go for the stars, and I myself am not there where I want to be, okay, but I'm having the mindset that would take me there. That's how it starts, right? Or at least forcing yourself to think that way, because if nothing, you're not going to do anything.
Like, it doesn't hurt you.
We're all
you know, it's better than thinking negative.
We're all the same. Like, those people that are at the top, are they more than a human? You know what I mean? Like, no, we're all the same. How did they get there? Some people for sure got it easier and gonna hand it to them, and they got a $1 million loan. You know what I mean? A lot of people for sure have had it easy, but a lot of people started from living in the dirt floor and poor in the poorest circumstances you can think of.
Traumatic stuff,
bad habits, maybe homelessness, maybe addictions. And they change your life completely, and they won't even recognize their old self. Exactly. So, like, se puede. If you really, really want to, you can. Exactly. Sometimes a lot of people are like, oh, you can't cold turkey it. That's also a phrase that I heard recently, because I don't really speak like that with those phrases. I've heard it,
but what does it mean?
Like, let's say I have a habit of smoking every day. Either
like completely cutting it off.
Like, you know what? I smoke every day. Tomorrow, I'm gonna stop for sure. I think that us as humans, our mind is so powerful that if we really wanted to cold turkey stuff, we could. Because it's just... Oh, now I don't want to speak on other things like strong addictions or stuff like that, because I in no way am someone to speak on that. But I'm just saying maybe in other aspects. For example, let's say change your alimentation, like your style, your lifestyle, and the way you eat, exercising. If you want to stop smoking cigarettes, if you want to stop going out partying. Oh, you know what? Instead of going out Friday and Saturday, I'm gonna go out Friday. No, you can't actually stop going literally. Like, you know what I mean? Some things are just like you can stop. You don't have to minimize it, but no, it's all up to perception once again. But sorry, did you want to say something?
No. Well, I never finished the friend thing. That what was I saying? Oh, I basically, it's because I liked what I said, but it was years ago, so I don't remember how I said it. But it was like around these bad feelings, such a fucking habit, that you don't realize that, like, that's not how you actually feel. It's just, it comforts you. It's your comfort zone. It's scary to feel positive because you don't know what that is. You don't know how that feels like. You know, when you're so comfortable with something, it's your even if it's bad things, it comforts you because that's all you know. It's like nostalgic in a way. It's like how nostalgia makes you feel good, right? Because you're like, oh, or like reminiscing. It's also the same thing with bad habits, because it's all you know, so it comforts you. Toxic traits comfort you because that's all you know. Change is scary to most people. So I remember telling her something along those ways of like, you know, like, you're just so used to this comfort zone, whether it's good or bad for you. And she stayed quiet, and she actually didn't talk to me for like 6 months. But when she finally reconnected with me, because she would like go in solo trips a lot, she told me that I changed her whole fucking mindset from that conversation. And she actually, from then on, she became she was like way more positive. So it just made me happy that...
I say you said that because it even kind of instilled something in me. I applied it to myself when you said that right now. I was like feeling it.
So. I procrastinate a lot because it's my comfort. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's something about doing nothing, laying down for fucking hours, that I'm just so stuck doing. And I don't like it. I fucking hate it. I hate that I do that.
There's a lot of things. A lot of things I can think of right now that I do out of comfort.
Because it gives you comfort.
Numbing. Yeah. You told me last time, numbing emotions, numbing...
It could be anything.
Your sober self. Yeah, it could be anything. But I have a lot... We can talk about bad habits, too. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Did I interrupt you?
No. That was it, literally. I just...
I
think that one thing can change someone's perspective.
Literally. It just takes one phrase or one perspective, and somebody could be like, hey, you know what? You're so right. I'm going to apply that to my life. Yeah. And it's just so easy to say or to hear it, I know, but once you start applying it, it's like, damn, you know?
You have to... People think that this is like, oh, you... Kind of like in the last video, I kind of said it, like, sometimes I force myself to do these things for myself, whether it's skincare or not procrastinating. Like, you, in order to become the you that you want to be, you really have to put pride away, ego away. You have to put away so much
temptations,
and you have to be fucking honest with yourself. Because I feel like a lot of people aren't fucking. If you can't be honest with yourself, you're not gonna be honest with anyone.
Well, I think you were gonna say that. You said that in the first video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were like.
Yeah, it's because it's the truth. It's like it goes back to, if you really want change, like a big change for yourself. And I'm saying it out of experience. I literally was so different 5 months ago. So that's why I feel like I really want people to hear me out when I say that.
Should we get more specific? Do you want to like dive into like certain traits now that
Actually,
your past self endured in your past relationship, or just within your own mind, so we can get more specific with certain things?
I guess a very big one, because it's something that this is something that I had to heal and love. Como lo digo? This is something I had way before I met my ex. My insecurities. Being insecure overall. Some people, you know, they don't know what that means, like a lot, you know? But insecure about, when you're insecure about your image, most of the time you're also insecure about your worth. It's deeper. People only sometimes see the superficial underlying of certain issues, but sometimes the issue is deeper than that. Of course, I was a fucking teenager in middle school, like, you know, like, yeah, maybe I knew I was insecure, but it's not like I was like, oh, it's actually because...
It's associated with physicality, and like, she's insecure, she doesn't love her body, and, but it's self-respect, self-worth, your self-image, how you portray yourself.
Your personality, like, when you don't like something about yourself, most of the time you don't like nothing about yourself. I've never met someone that's insecure about their body, and they're also not insecure. Like, most of the time, like, it goes together. Once you fix your worth, you don't give a fuck about your image. You have too much respect and love for yourself to be like, really, bitch, you're judging your human body. Like, we all look the way we do, and we're all beautiful. When you really, really love yourself inside, it comes out in the outside as well. So that's why I always say, like, insecurities are deeper than just like, oh, I hate my face. And it's like a worth issue. And I've always been super insecure, like, since I can fucking remember. And it not only was that one of the traits I wrote down, but it goes back to also chasing. I always chased after my friendships. I always chased after my crushes. I chased after these partnerships or relationships because of my insecurities. Because I wanted to feel like, well, if someone else loves me, then I'm worth loving. If someone wants to be my friend, then I'm worth being a friend. I'm worth being a partner. I'm worth something if someone else gives me that worth. When it's like, I can't look for that worth in other people. And it made me tolerate a lot of bad shit, because insecurities, if you don't deal with them, they will come out one way or another. And in this relationship, they came out like, I now, from 5 months ago, I wouldn't be saying the things I say. I wouldn't even, like, yes, I've always kind of expressed myself, like how we talked about, you know how I said, like, oh, I was always kind of good at self-expression, but I would still hold myself back. Like, maybe I would do it in person, but oh my god, posting a picture of my body? So would I admit that? Like, fuck no. And if I did, I edit it. All the pictures I have on my Instagram right now are not edited. Or like minor edits, but whatever. But like actual, like literally like so much of my old posts, and these are, if someone's watching and you saw my posts, they were fucking edited. Like, I would literally edit out, like, I would change my body. And like, these things are you crying? No, because, like, I want to be honest about it. Like, I would literally give myself curves. I would make myself look skinnier. I'm sorry, I'm crying about something else. Are you crying about something else? You triggered something that I started to remember. But I kind of like that you're crying. You like raw emotion. Yeah. And do you want to talk about it?
No, I just had, like, a realization moment when you said something. I literally had, like, a specific memory.
Oh, it triggered something? Yeah. That you forgot? No,
it was just, like, you were saying, I don't want to act a certain way because I feel like the camera's on my face. You know what I mean?
It's okay.
But
talk slow.
No, when you said about like chasing others, I just.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, we both. It's like, most of the time,
I just realized that like I would chase after like my friendships too, and that made me sad right now because I know that I chased relationships. Because, I mean, the only long-term relationship I was in, like,
Me too.
I was the initiator, I guess you could say. Not that that has like some.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
but it wasn't with good. It wasn't like
I was the one that initiated things and looked for it, and then in regards to like other romantic relationships, it was always like me trying to find something to look for something more, you know.
Me too.
And I knew that, but in regards to friendships, it's not something that I really paid attention to.
You didn't notice the pattern? I
didn't notice the pattern, and then right now I just thought about like something, and it made me realize that I always chased certain friendships too.
I gotcha. When I notice these patterns about myself, I really realize like what makes I feel like I needed to literally like start over, because I feel like young me just didn't. I
think also entering like a new era, you start seeing that things will just come to you. I feel
exactly.
Like I've been feeling more spiritual. I've never like connected. Why am I feeling emotional?
It's okay. I cried about this a lot. You know, it's just on my own time. So right now I feel like I've cried everything. But maybe right now you just realize that you had that pattern with friendsps.
Well, not even that. I just feel I'm crying like a good cry, because I feel like
releasing.
No. I feel like I'm realizing that I'm just starting to feel a lot of different things. I still have a lot of negative thoughts and bad days and when I'm stressed and stuff like that. But I'm realizing that I can actually change my life if I want to.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I used to even feel weird saying like the word God, just because our parents always instilled in us to believe whatever we wanted to believe in, and that's something that honestly I'm still grateful to this day, and I love that about my parents, because my dad they both believed in God, and they would persignarnos before school, and that felt very comforting and safe for me. But even then, like, even though they would do those things because they believed it, they wouldn't like force us or tell us go to church, like nothing. So growing up in middle school, I remember going to different churches with different friends, because they're
I actually did once too. I remember the other day.
Wait, sorry, I want to talk.
No, sorry, yeah.
And I got to experience I got to build my own opinions and thoughts on what I felt. And I remember there was a specific church I went to that I did not like at all, because they were very cult-ish. Like they were, and it was that's not something that I wanted to be a part of.
Of course.
I think you just find what you connect with best, and if that represents your values, then that's something you're gonna connect to. But I didn't connect with that, so I didn't like that one. And then I just never felt like inclined to any religion or any belief that for me, like enough for me to connect to it and feel it in my soul, I think everything in life happens a certain way for a reason. Yes, everything happens for a reason, but it happens a certain way and a certain timing for a reason too. I think maybe it was meant for me to get spiritual at this age, at this moment in life, after dealing with
everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, after dealing with depression, after dealing with super intrusive thoughts, after dealing with breakups, after dealing with losing friends, and now it's like, now that I'm alone, I think it was meant for me right now in this precise moment, that I'm also trying to get rid of bad habits and and become more disciplined, to also build a relationship with God that I know. I feel cheesy saying it, because that's not who I've been all my life. So going back to comfort, I'm so used to being this person that I don't want to go out of the box and be this different person, or but I want to, and I feel it in my soul.
Change is uncomfortable.
Yeah. And yeah, I just blanked out. I've been feeling some closeness with my faith, and I feel like,
does it give you comfort?
Yeah, it gives me comfort, and yeah.
And yeah,
it gives me comfort, and I think that I'm on the right step.
I like that.
I think I'm on the right path.
You feel better now?
Yeah.
I get you.
And since I feel this journey too at the gym, there's this the janitor, his name is Roberto.
Roberto, shout out to you. We he's like our friend. I haven't been to the gym in a while, so my sister has been talking.
And I conversate with him, and I really like him, and I don't know where he's like, I got you a little gift, and he just gave me like a necklace with a cross on it. And in that moment, I didn't get emotional, but I felt like so much like, oh, like it's so, because, no, at first he didn't tell me it was for me. He just showed it to me. So I was like seeing it, I was like, oh, it's so pretty, like I really like it. He's like, for you? I was like, oh, like that's so sweet. I love gifts, you know, I love whatever it is, anything, you know, the fact that you want to gift it to me, like it means a lot to me.
It's sweet.
Yeah, it's really
because
sweet.
There's someone that at one point was a stranger to us.
Exactly. So the fact that he even wanted to like gift us anything, you know, I don't know. And I thought it was sweet. And in that moment, I was like, I felt like it was also God through him. You know, I feel like sometimes like people are sent to us or even a conversation for a reason. So I felt like that was like reassurance for me, like you're on the right path, you got this, I'm with you.
That's
you know,
sweet.
that's what I felt. So it just because
right?
that's also something that I struggle with on a lot of things. With my faith, it was like doubting myself, right? And you told me last time that I'm too open-minded, that I don't form an opinion on certain things. It's like, okay, I understand you see both sides, but sometimes you gotta form your own opinion and be like, you know what, okay, I think this, instead of always being like, like I understand.
I basically
everybody.
told her, like, do you ever sit down and think, like, what do I think?
Yeah.
What are my opinions?
So I think I'm starting to do that. I'm starting to form my own opinion on my faith. Of course.
As long as you're not being disrespectful.
Yeah, I respect everybody.
I don't see why you would feel bad about something about your faith.
I think you're right, because I was, like, on the topic of faith specifically, I would always be like, oh, well, I see why everybody thinks the way they think. At the end of the day, I don't know what reality, what the truth, ultimate truth is. I think anybody can be right. And I still think that.
Yeah.
Right? But I also have to stand strong with what do I believe, though? And it's okay if I'm wrong, but form your own opinion based off your values and what you choose to believe in this life that you're given. And it's completely okay if what you think at the end of the day is not the ultimate reality, but you chose to believe that, and that was what helped you along the way, and you know what you felt in your soul. So not to make it long, but
yeah, it's a beautiful journey.
Yeah, I think it's barely like it's barely the beginning steps of my journey. Like I'm barely taking the steps. I have never even stepped on the first step in the staircase. You know, on the staircase. Trying to make references.
You're like, I never
I
set
sound
foot
smart.
But
no, but
I feel like it's very. I was telling her too that I feel like maybe she felt weird stepping into faith because it's like intimate, and she didn't know how to go about and speak on it and just be open about it.
And I want to be verbal with those things too. Yes, I want to feel them, and yes, it's gonna be a personal relationship. But why can't I feel comfortable with even saying the word God? Yeah. Why can't I feel comfortable with saying my beliefs and my faith? You know what I mean? I should be able to be comfortable. So I think that's uncomfortable for me because it's vulnerable. It's like, well, this is what I think.
Think like, oh, maybe
what if you don't think this?
You...
What if you don't? What if you think I'm wrong? You know, but it shouldn't matter at the end of the day.
And maybe some people might think like, oh, maybe you feel like that because of the way you grew up, and because some people feel shame because they grew up like this or that. But going back, like we were honestly raised very open-minded when it came to religion and beliefs, and I don't feel like shame talking about my faith. I think there's just like a personal thing with Aurora that she's learning to stand by her beliefs firmly without feeling like she's stepping onto someone else.
Without doubting what I'm thinking.
Or
like,
doubting
if I'm gonna think something, stand by it, or fully believe that with your soul and your mind. Don't just be like, oh, maybe it's this or maybe it's that.
I feel like my sister's scared to look stupid.
No,
look stupid. Sounds stupid sometimes. Like, oh, like.
No, I don't think. Honestly, it's not that. I think I get not scared, but uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable.
Of sounding cringy. It's not stupid. It's not like feeling like I'm stupid. No, I just feel like it's sounding cringy. You're like, oh, I myself feel cringy saying the word God. I myself feel like weird. Like, oh my God, you've never been like this, and now you want to be like this. You know what I mean? So for me, it's maybe like even hypocritical or just weird. But I want to stop judging myself and be like, you know what? Go for it. This is what you want us to do.
Because you wouldn't judge someone else.
I touched the fly literally. I wanted this.
You touched it?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like I know you. And I know you would never even think that of others if they were talking about their God.
I just do it to myself.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I feel like...
That's true. Why do I do it to myself? Because other people do judge. But then we shouldn't care. I know.
Exactly, yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to say something just to lay it out there. Because most people are always going to say, I don't give a fuck what people think about me. Like, fuck that. And my sister once told me, she's like, the people who say the most are the people who actually care. Because the people who genuinely don't care are not even going to say nothing. The people who actually care are going to be like, I don't give a fuck.
I know so much people that would act unbothered and were bothered. I would know so much people
and
that would act, oh, I don't care, and would care. So it's just kind of, I realize, like, if you really don't, you just don't.
I wouldn't be the one to say, I don't care.
Yeah.
But...
No, let's talk about you.
No, I'm just saying, but I feel like...
I was being a little petty.
I was talking about you, bitch. You know.
Yeah, if you're watching this, it's you, bitch.
You know what it is. You know who you are, dumb bitch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get beat up. What am I gonna say? What are you saying?
You were saying about the deep quotes I said.
No.
I like how you said things I've told you that have changed. You said another video with just don't talk, just do. And then this one you're saying about my other quotes.
No, you said
I say a lot of cool
told
things.
Me you said two things. That's it. I say better. So anyways.
No.
Yeah.
We're both deep.
No, me.
You do like the cool,
I'm deeper.
You do cool conversations. I do. You saw that? I was like, and I do like one hitters that just.
No, one time it's because like the short and sweet ones are like the best ones. You're like, do it or shut the fuck up. That's it. So I'm like, I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna do.
It's because I don't talk a lot too.
Let me finish talking.
Sorry.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna change the way I eat. I'm gonna work out. Like, yeah, for sure. Starting tomorrow, my life is gonna change. And then you're like, do it, shut the fuck up. I'm like, you know what, you're right. Because I do all the talking, and then the next day I'm like, I smoke, I eat, I indulge. Well, of course I'm gonna eat. Yeah. I meant to say I'm gonna. I overeat, I overindulge. Back to bad habits. So I'm like, why the fuck did I say that now? Now that makes me feel stupid. Because I'm doing all this talking, but I don't follow through. So yeah, and then also when you said about people who say it the most, like do the barking. You're all bark.
All bark, no bite.
Yeah, like when you say you don't care, you do care. And going back to what I was trying to say when I said that is that nobody likes to admit their bad traits. Nobody likes to admit the toxic traits. But I do because I'm too honest sometimes.
Yeah, that's just really blunt.
I'm too honest sometimes. Like last time I said something to her, and she's like, "Okay, I was too honest. Like you need to like lower it down. Not lower it down, but you kind of said like
shut the fuck up, basically."
It's because she was talking to me. I didn't really want to like talk or talk about the topic she was talking about. So I was like, honestly, I just want to walk away. I don't want to talk about what you're talking about. Basically, it's not interesting. And then she was like, "It's really good." I know it came off as a bitch, but I literally just said what I was thinking in my head. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm sorry. I'd rather keep it real with you, and I'm just gonna walk away. And she was like, "What the fuck?" She's like, "Okay, but you're being a bitch." And I'm like, "Okay, that's true. I am being a bitch, but." It could be a bad thing. But yeah. You're gonna know that I'm never lying to you at least.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I was like, okay, I know that you're not fake, or like I know like whatever you show me is really you. But
like calm down. You know?
Yeah, like you need a filter sometimes.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
You need a filter. But I don't know. I'm sorry.
I was pretty good on talking.
Okay,
I talked about my insecurities. I fixed a lot of my like oh my god, like
okay, I thought you told me my
oh, because I was talking about the editing. I used to edit my pictures. I kind of oh my god, like I would literally like change the way my body looked, like just bluntly, and I would change the way my face looked.
I would give herself a 6-pack.
Yeah. Oh, like that. No, like I just. Oh my god, it's just crazy how much insecurities can fuck up with your head and fuck with what you do, and like they literally like I was always thinking about how I look from morning to night.
Like, I don't know if you'd be comfortable with me sharing this, but now that you brought this up. Well, even if not,
like this.
If not, you can edit it out. But you even said you wouldn't even like look at yourself in the mirror.
Oh, actually,
yeah, that's a huge thing.
See, like sometimes I write things down, but like I forget everything I want to say. Because it's actually sad. I could say for about 2 years of my life, probably like 2020 to the beginning of this year, I would not look at myself in the mirror. Like at all, I wouldn't. I would avoid a mirror. And like if when I was looking at myself, it was only when I was ready or I was doing my makeup because I had to look at myself. But like really look at myself, feel comfortable in my naked body. I literally could not be naked by myself. Like I felt so disgusting in my true body. I hated being naked like I literally like, and like maybe it's TMI, but I like being naked, or like I feel like I like wearing little clothes. So for me to at one point in my life been like so like I couldn't, like you know like after you shower you're just sitting in your towel, like I had to change right away. I couldn't look like, but looking in the mirror is the one that makes me sad because I would feel so uncomfortable looking at myself, and I remember how I felt, and I felt so disgusting. That's like the perfect word for it. And I felt really ugly about myself, and I just felt so vulnerable when I would finally just kind of like look at my body. Like I would honestly just avoid thinking about, like I would think about how I look all the time. I would edit my pictures, but when I really would look at myself, like when people would take pictures of me off guard, and I really had to sit there and look at what I actually look like, not what I constructed in my mind, of what I want it to look like.
Not the specific angle or whatever.
Yeah, like what I actually look like, the real me, it would make me feel so shitty. And that's something that past me just needed to fix. And I feel like now present me is such a different mindset. Like the pictures I put, and some people it's just pictures, but like it's deeper than that. Just the fact that I could feel comfortable in myself, and I actually feel beautiful now, and that's the difference. I genuinely can say,
fuck how other people view you.
Yes.
It's how you viewed yourself. Yeah. And even like people can see you like in the best, like, oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous, oh my gosh, she's so funny. But if you look at yourself and you see, like you say, and you're disgust and you feel disgusted, or you don't
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what people think.
Yeah. I feel like I feel more beautiful now than I ever have in my life, and I'm just so grateful that I pulled myself out of that, because at the end of the day, who I am right now is because of me. Like, no one can take that credit. My confidence is because of me. I chose to love myself. I chose to leave him. I chose to work on myself. I chose to face myself and every bad thing that I've ever done or said. I chose to do the work, and I chose to finally say, you know what? In order to love myself, I have to not give a fuck and be okay with myself in every angle. I have to be okay with the way I look. I have to be okay with how I sound, how I speak, how I am, how I laugh, everything about myself. Because I feel like when you hate yourself so much, you hate everything. So I needed to really learn that I'm beautiful, no matter if my mind is telling me I'm not. And I feel like that's like the big theme. Because I have other things I wrote down, but like that's the biggest theme for me. My confidence now, because I actually feel beautiful from the inside and out, and I actually feel like I'm worth someone to be friends with, to be a partner with. If anything, I feel like a little cocky now, and I feel like I deserve to feel that, because at one point in my life I felt disgusting, and I let my ex say and do so much disgusting things to me because of how much I did not love myself. And now I have this confidence because I feel like I deserved it. I deserve to feel the way I feel now, because I've already been through the worst, and no one can take that away from me.
I want to say I love you and I'm proud of you.
I feel like I wanted to cry, but
because you're so strong.
I love you too. You're gonna make me cry.
It's only been 5 months and you've changed like crazy.
No, yeah,
I'm so proud of you. I just want to say those things. And sometimes I feel cheesy saying those things. Like, I have a lot of things I want to say, but it feels weird for them to come out. But like, just looking at you, you're so beautiful. And you're so strong. And you're so resilient. And in 5 months, if I were you, I'd be in bed, like, depressed. But you got treated shitty. You gave a lot of love because you have a lot of love to give. And it kind of just got shut down. You got just smacked in the face with it. Metaphorically, literally. And you went through a lot.
Thank you.
And you should have a lot of anger. And I feel like you don't. You do probably have anger, but not really. You don't have anger how you should. And you've changed habits. You've changed life perspective, what you want to do with your life career-wise. You've changed your physicality. You've changed your confidence. You've changed hairstyles, you know? A lot of things in a short amount of time.
Thank you. It feels really good to hear that, to be honest.
Yeah. Even though you know these things. I feel like you should know these things.
But it's nice to hear it from, even though like now like I can calm on myself and I feel it, and like it goes back to kind of like not needing the reassurance for someone, but it feels really nice that I'm proud of you. That's what kind of made me cry, because I feel like, yeah, I'm proud of myself, but when someone else says it, it makes me realize that I've been through a lot.
Even though sometimes I'm a bitch to you and I get stressed out,
like we fought before we recorded.
It's because I feel like I come off as the. You know how there's like even TikToks on those type of things, like older siblings being like a bitch, and there's some older sisters that are really like bad to their siblings and they're not even good older sisters.
It's kind of like when you get not to compare myself to a dog, but you kind of when you get like annoyed with your dog and you act like a bitch.
Yeah, I just act like a bitch with her for no reason. I can go out with a friend right now. I know, mute that. I can go out with a friend right now or like with, I don't know, somebody else, and be in a completely different mood, and I just come home and I'm with you, and I'm like, just because it's you bugged me, just because it's you. And to a lot of people that might sound like a bitch, because that is bitchy, right? Like, how am I gonna come home and just because it's you, like, just like, shut up, like, you're irritating me already, even if you're not saying nothing bad. And that's part of my past self, which we can also touch base on that. I used to not be the best older sister. So a lot of people might be jealous of like good sibling relationships, because they're like, why can't I have that? I wasn't always, and I still to this day, I'm not the best, but I feel like
we fixed our relationship probably around 2020.
I started,
right?
Yeah.
Like that's when we started bonding.
How sometimes like the older sibling comes off as like the bad guy, the villain, the bitchy one, and I'm here to say that was me. But literally every other day when we were younger. And now it's like, of course I'll have my moments or days, but it's not how it used to be, because before it'd be like literally every other day. Like I was more like in my own world and she was in her own world, but it was mainly me in my own world.
We're both in our own world.
Okay, but I said it more because I feel like I was the
older one.
I was the one, I'm taking, I guess, accountability for being the like, instead of saying a bitch, I was gonna say another word, but yeah, being the bitch. Like, I would get home, I would just be focused on my relationship in that moment, on school, you know, that was the span of, like, high school and going into college, and working. I would work a lot, actually. I would work, like, long hours. My first job at Walmart.
So I
would actually, like, overdo my hours.
Right after school and 12-hour shifts.
Or, like, in the morning, hasta la noche. Like, literally, I'd be all day trying to do overtime, trying to get money or whatever. But, yeah, so when I get home from work, and she would just be like, hey, you know, how was your day? I'm like, don't talk to me, I don't want to talk to you. Like, I would just always be a bitch to you every other day. So, going back to what I was saying, though, in regards to that, I feel like you got to work on your relationships just how you do with your romantic relationships. You also got to work on your friendships. You also got to work on your sibling relationships. You also got to work on your parent relationship. You got to work
everything
is a relationship. Whoever,
with yourself, too.
Exactly. Your relationship with yourself. Life is also relationships. It's networking. Networking is different, right? That's more like who's gonna get you somewhere. But it's socializing, exactly. We're human beings. We're social beings. I was gonna make a comment when you were talking earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt you. How you said how like about conversating with others, how a lot of people don't like conversating, and how you don't see that sometimes. But I like that small human interaction, even if it's small talk sometimes, because it shows that us as humans, like, we're not in our own little world. Of course, we all have our own families, like. You know, sometimes
we're all here together.
When I feel like I zoom out and I see like the bigger image, like, okay, there's all these houses, we all have our own families, we all have our own jobs, we all have our own life, we all have our own things that we're thinking about. But it's cool to think about sometimes how somebody can get out of their bubble and kind of come across paths with somebody else and conversate, and also look at from their perspective, you know, step out of your own bubble for a little, because it's not about you. A lot of people are egocentric and it's always about them. Like, think about others, be empathetic, you know?
Exactly.
Something that I'm a very observative person, so I like seeing like human interaction. So, like, you know, last time at work I saw these two people conversating. Like, it was a couple, and then they just turned around, like, I don't know, we started talking to this older gentleman.
I like when people do that.
And I just like that, because I just saw them talking instead of seeing people just stuck on their phones like this. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. I think it was a private conversation. I don't think it was on the video.
It is beautiful to see strangers.
But I was at the gym, and I get it. You're gonna put music when you're at the gym. You have your phone. I get it.
Oh, you did tell me.
Okay, I looked around, and like literally everybody was on their phone. I looked at a guy who was on his phone. I looked at this woman on her phone. I looked at this other guy on her phone. I was like, everybody on their phones. Like, we're robots. Like, put your fucking phone down for a little bit and just pretend it didn't exist. And it wasn't that hard. And that's just something new.
It stopped recording. We don't know where it cut off.
It stopped recording, and
the camera's at 2%.
We don't even know what the last topic was. I don't know.
Let's just keep it short.
But
bye.
I was saying a lot of things and didn't record anything. Okay, anyways, all right.
Bye. We hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this showed us like just raw emotion. Okay.
Yeah, that's it, guys. That's a wrap. We'll see you guys next time.
All right. Bye.